That's right, baby. We're back from MagFest. Let's start this slideshow. You guys can stare at that while I'm also talking about MagFest 2023. A very cool time with some very cool people. At the merch place, I got the old MagFest shirt because last year they did Doom, and I'm really happy. I've never really wanted merch from MagFest, but I had to grab that because it's bloody and fun. Pretty neat. Anyway, this is the 20th anniversary. Can you believe it? And I went down, spur of the moment thing, decided to hang out with some bros, right? It was January. I probably should have did a little bit of research, tell people when MagFest was. I'll just look over here at the calendar. It says it was the 5th through the 8th. For those that don't know, it's down in the DC area. Hey, that's probably really loud right now. Hold on 1 second. Oh, this is already gone. Focus. Just stare at Brendan Fraser for a second here. No, this has been a good time. Let's go to that video and oh, it is muted. That's good. So look at me for a second. MagFest 2023. MagFest is a rare 24-hour convention. They leave some hours open to clean off the arcades and stuff, but MAG stands for Music and Games Festival for the rest of all. It's a very cool thing, and I don't remember how I even learned of it now that I think about it. But I've been there a couple of years. Didn't go last year. Wasn't too comfortable going out quite yet. And this year, they required masks and COVID testing cards. Your COVID card. Can't talk. Words are hard. Can you tell I'm winging it on this? But no, wanted to go this year. Decided at the last second to spend some money and get a ticket with my old college roommate Chirito. If you guys listen to the Static Zone podcast, he was recently on there. But I will share all that stuff with you. Let's start that slideshow back up, shall we? There we go. If that's loud, I'm sorry. I don't think. Oh, that's not bad. Yep. Noises. Let's go to the next one. Psychic Space Wars was what that is. Played a lot of cool stuff at this MagFest. But yeah, you saw my lanyard, and I grabbed a lot of art. I didn't. This is actually the first convention, maybe ever in some time, that I did not buy a bunch of retro games or even indie games. But I played a lot of indie games. You're seeing some of them here, over here, right there. Killer Queen, not really an indie game, but a good time. But that was one of the tournaments we did. So let's run down some things I grabbed, some stuff I did, my thoughts on MagFest, and the haul. All right, get a swig. Gonna need some juice. So, I did grab a CD. I didn't get to catch them, but Lame Genie did Zombies Ate My Neighbors. So basically, if you want metal covers of the Zombies Ate My Neighbors soundtrack, pretty good stuff. That was good driving music coming back. And we also saw Cybertronic Spree, which is the Transformers themed band. They do the Transformers 1986 soundtrack and other covers and have a debut album coming out. There's Corey in the Windjammers tournament with no friends. That's an amazing Bomberman cosplay. How about that? For the tournament that I did not win. How does that make sense? But I got this pin, Cybertronics free pin, and I also got some art. So let's talk about that. All right. The artist for the band The Protomen was there, John DeLuca. So I grabbed one of his pieces. Very cool stuff. I'm gonna link all the artists in the description, but he does good stuff. Very cool stuff. Um, there was another artist there. There were a bunch of tables. The thing about Magfest is there's a ton of artists and indies. The dealer's room, the merch room, the artist alley, whatever you want to call it, the merch floor, that had a lot. I don't know how they used to do a thing where to enroll in it, like shoot your shot to get a table out there. It was kind of a gambling system of some sort. I'm not even sure how to describe it really, but you just basically put your name in a pot and hope you get picked. I don't know if they're still doing it like that, but there were very few retro shops, and a lot more artists, which was actually pretty cool because a lot of times you're like going from booth to booth to try to see who's got the cheapest. I don't even know game that you're looking for. I only want to spend $800 on Earthbound or something like that. So it is what it is, but there weren't too many of those. So I got some art. Mentioned Don DeLuca, another artist. shoot, let me see if I can find their name because I had it in front of me. But what, like I said, I will adequately give credit to all of them where it's due. But you just look around, and if it's not at eye level or slightly above, you might completely miss it. So that's why you just want to be up and down and all around. You know what I mean? But this next artist, they're called Iron Pinky. So check them out at Iron Pinky. What drew me over to their booth was this amazing Jet Set Radio art. Look at that. Look at that. Son of a gum, right? Jet Set, you guys know I like Jet Set. You guys know I like the Sega. So that's what drew me over to them. And then when I did go over, I also saw, leafing through their stuff, this amazing collaborative work of the cover of Blink 182's Enema of the State with Nurse Joy in there from Pokemon. So it's Anime of the State, Nurse 104. And it looks like, she did um to make it look like it's in a jewel case, kind of. If I hold that up a little closer, you can see on the edges there the like cracked stuff. Um, yes, very cool. Had to grab that. Even though I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan in the world, I still wanted to grab that. Is this making noise? I can't tell. I hope it's not. That's me playing a Theremin game to get into the indie games real quick. So one side is controlling the my left hand is controlling the ship, my right hand is controlling the crosshair. I'm just going to talk real loud. Yeah, it's picking up. It's real loud. Sorry about that. I thought I had that fixed. So let's go back to that. Oh no, it's muted. Yeah. So that you can see my left hand there is controlling the ship right here, and then my right hand is controlling the crosshair. So a theremin is an instrument that you literally manipulate the wavelengths. You put your hands in front of them, and it's a psychic space wars is what they called it. Pretty cool stuff, pretty crazy stuff. So let's move on. You can see what it actually looks like there. You put your hands in these little doodads and go through there. But there's Corey playing something called Vestigial. Super Sharp Birds, pretty simple. You're a little bird and you're running left to right. And when you bounce off something, you face the other way. You're trying to get that little black thing up there. I could probably make the slideshow bigger, huh? But anyway, so we'll leave that up for a second there. But the last piece of art that I got was, I saw it and they said they had a sign like last copy, come back on Sunday, the last day around 1 o'clock to try to get it. You'll get the floor copy, right? I had to have this, especially with how the Extra Life marathon went recently, the 12-hour thing, trying to raise a certain something on a certain VMU, and then also trying to get it to work again. But it's a very chill thing. I normally don't buy Sonic art because I've got a lot of Sonic stuff, but I had to get this. Look at that. Cool little Chow hanging out. He's sleeping. TV demon. Because he's had a day. He's like, I'm just gonna chill by this coconut tree and hopefully not get hit on the head by some coconuts. That artist is 2D Day or Space Day. Sorry. Like I said, I'll tag them accordingly in the information. But this could, see this hanging up in the reading room. We don't have one of those, but someday. Very chill, cool thing. But yeah, so I'll try to. I was gonna say I'll try to share links to all the art. I don't know if that's possible because they don't have it all displayed everywhere, but at least all the artists I'll credit accordingly. The shrines were strong this year. You saw I put a video up for the Danny DeVito shrine of donating to him, and there was also the Brendan Fraser shrine that I showed at the beginning of this slideshow. Doodad. If we can get back to that, you guys like hamsters? You guys like Captain Maryland? That looks like a wiener. That's why I did that. That fun. Nope. Can we just get out of the slideshow? Maybe. That's why I did that fun thing there. Brendan Fraser, the shrine. Yes, they did that. Let's get that slideshow going again. So they have shrines for whatever reason you can donate things to. I did not. That's the Eevee. Bunch of kids dressed up at the Eevees. I thought it was cute, so I took a picture. There's a lot of stuff in that thing there, though. Poster, the mummy. I'll let the rest play out, but there's a Danny DeVito shrine, Betty White shrine, Brendan Fraser. Yeah, so that was my haul. We'll just do some thoughts on MagFest because it only happened a little bit over a week ago. That's a skeleton game. You just move the small skeleton to make the big skeleton happy. That's basically a Contra Metal Slug thing called Iron Meat. There's that again. I hope it's not really loud. If it is, yep, it is. Sorry. It's a piece of shit. Can it just go to the... Yeah, there we go. All right. I think it'll keep going from there. Psychic Wars. Maybe I'll take that. Let me take that video out real quick. This is on the fly, people. On the fly. So let's take that. You've seen the video. You saw how it's run. So we're going to move that to a folder over here. And then we're going to start this up one more time and just let it play through. So there we go. No, there was a... Yeah, the shrines. You can check my YouTube for the Dane DeVito contribution that I donated. The Theremin game was cool. There was a bicycle game where you like, it's a bicycle upside down. You move the wheels to turn a jet to turn like it looked like it reminded me of Warhawk, the look of it a little bit. We're still not 100% sure how it worked. The skeleton game I mentioned there is interesting. You got to use those big guys because what else are you gonna do? And Super Sharp Birds was fun. Iron Meat was a good time. There were some tournaments we entered. There was Killer Queen, there was Windjammers, and there was Saturn. Bomberman, can you believe that? Um, Killer Queen was an absolute mess, and I might leave some feedback on how that thing was run, because boy howdy, nobody knew what was happening. But it was fun for a second. That game's a good time. You can see that guy is into it. I'm just showing pictures of like merch and other stuff that I thought was funny. And those are ramen people, which look weird. Oh yeah, I also got a shirt. I meant to grab a ramen shirt for Rachel because I got her some possum stuff. They gave me the wrong shirt, but it's still really cool art. I like fried chicken. It's okay. I prefer it grilled, but this is a great shirt. Great, and it's like a little bit Under Armour, elastic, whatever it's called. So pretty cool art. That is Nom's Designs. Be sure to credit them as well. Ramen shirt's on its way. Um, but yeah, no, like the tournaments were cool. Windjammers is always a good time. That Bomberman cosplay is amazing. Killer Queen, we got out the first round, but Windjammers, Corey, uh, the reason that no friends thing is there is the first person against him didn't show up, so he automatically made it to his next round. And then there's some udon. He won his second round, technically first, but hey, he kicked some butt, pretty good. I got out my first round. I didn't care. I just like playing Windjammers, and it was cool to see all the excitement around that. But that's Cybertronic Spree there, the Transformers band. And Windjammers, though, Corey didn't make it through his second round, but it's so cool to see people. Saturn Bomberman, wow. They knew what they were doing running this tournament, thankfully. I was surprised they left dinosaurs in, because that's essentially an extra hit in the game. But I went out the first round. We had two matches ended in a no draw. So that means when the stuff's coming down at the end of the game, killed everybody, no one could win. Let's Why did that photo play a second time? Is it going to be a third time? No. There's that bicycle game I mentioned. You're a jet somehow. And so there was a pretty good competition for Bomberman. I was a little bit surprised because I've haven't been in many Saturn Bomberman tournaments. I have medals up here for the ones that I won, but I have to admit I was bummed I got out the first round. Corey and I were playing in that round. Charita was in the first round, but it was a good game. It was actual competition, like a competitive game. A lot of times you get people just running in and not knowing what they're doing, and it's not really fun. I don't know how to describe it. Not that I'm the most competitive person, but Saturn Bomberman's my favorite Bomberman. So it was cool to see the interest around there. If we didn't have to run to dinner after that, I would have maybe liked to have stuck around and see how things shook out because it was intense. Like there was a game going on there. It was really cool. But maybe next time. Just exciting to see more people know about Saturn Bomberman now, and they're like, it's not just Bomberman. I took that picture because the GPS it looks like a wiener. The route. Anyway, Bomberman was cool, even though I lost. It was just good that there was excitement around it. The scene is there. Maybe it's growing. Maybe lockdown had something to do with that. But so I crashed at Chorito's place down there, and it was like no time had passed since we were in college. He's an old college roommate. We just ate some pizza, played some games, stay up later than we should have because we're old men now. But the adrenaline was flowing for MagFest, so it was a good time. That's the thing. We got to MagFest at like 10 a.m. We were there till after 1 a.m. You know, Cybertronic Spree played a little late, started a little late, but it was still good to see them because he's one of the biggest Transformers fans I know. So I really wanted him and Corey to see them. So they dug them. That was good. Didn't get to see too many other bands. It's just a lot to cram into one day. We also went, Sharito and I went back on Sunday to pick up the art, do a couple of laps and stuff. And yeah, there weren't that many retro shops. So I mentioned that a bunch of times because it's like, I mentioned in my last pickups video, I'm not trying to collect that much anymore. And I'm not trying to complete a Saturn collection or Dreamcast or anything, but it's like not fun when everything's just so out of anyone's normal price range. Um, the hunting is not as exciting when you just flat out can't afford things. Um, Sarsaparilla. Sarsaparilla. That's initial D. But so it's kind of okay. I gave Corey my DK bongos. He's got 3 sets of those to do what he will with, and he traded that for some Christmas gifts. But maybe that'll be in my next pickups video. But that was a fun, weird transaction in the parking garage. Here's your box of bongos. I'll take those wrapped gifts. Uh, but yeah, it was good to see him and Anti-Chris and Connor, all of us hanging out with Chorito, just broing it up, hanging out at MagFest. It's just a good time, and I think more people need to go to it. I wouldn't have gone down, like, I drove down after work Friday, zipped down there. We had all day Saturday and some of Sunday morning into early afternoon. If it was not as long of a, like, if the con room, the merch dealer room closed at like 6, I don't know if I would have gone. But it was the fact that it's got the huge arcade, all the indie stuff. Played a lot more indie games this year. Since I'm not with Megavisions anymore, I didn't feel as pressure to like hand out magazines and stuff like that. I didn't take as many pictures as I normally do. So that means that's good because I was just living in the moment. Look at us being goofy at the logo and I felt bad after we asked that dude to take the picture. People kept like lining up like, "Hey, can you get a picture of us? Can you get a picture of us?" So, sorry, buddy. I think that's about it for the Magfest talk. I didn't want this to go too long, but just spreading the mag gospel, right? There's a bunch of Magfests. There's Cruise and Blast, but there's a bunch of different Magfests throughout the country and stuff. This is the big one, Super Magfest they call it. Um, Let me actually go back here in the so you get show you guys some of the arcades we did here more specifically. Um, where did it go now? Because that's Corey sitting alone at Windjammers. That's what he does. Look at this thing though. Look at this. Such a good. Do we want to make this bigger? Nah. Such a good costume. Like, oh, he could also not see. He was like he had a handler. Mega Man. I mean, oh boy, Bomberman wears Converse. Um, yeah, he was holding on to a dude's jacket, like who was guiding him through the floor and stuff. So it was funny. It was great. I wish that I gotten a picture of him sitting because he was standing like in the background of this picture of the Saturn Bomberman tournament. So it looked like Bomberman was like surveying his troops or something. Good old Hot Wheels PC playing a Hot Wheels game. This is 2 PBMs, security monitors that are stacked on top of each other to mimic a DS. So he's playing Mario Kart DS on 2 security monitors. Kind of nuts. That's very zoomed in. That's my food. And that's Doritos dish in a pineapple. There's the bros. Boom, Connor, Chorito, Antichrist, Corey, me. You can't tell, but I'm holding chopsticks. Cybertronic Spree, good stuff. Good times. Great covers. Yeah. So yeah, you can see it's a jet and you would like rotate you can't really you can kind of see the circuitry that's in this thing that's going down and all around to this box. Um Skateboarding, virtual on. See, that's the thing about Magfest is like Torito was getting his butt handed to him, but I wanted him to try this game because somehow we had never played it in the apartment we shared, and the dude was like helping him out to understand the game while he's kicking his butt. But that's just Magfest, very welcoming atmosphere. Like, you don't know how to play this game? I'll show you. I'll teach you. Cruise and Blast, good stuff. I got third, you got fourth. Um, Poop, good stuff, right? Poop. Iron Meat, I mentioned before. This was just a weird game I'd never seen the cover of and thought I'd take a picture of it. $38 for a Game Boy Color game, people. Some cool Sonic art. Sonic pins. You got that chili dog. Yeah, Captain Maryland had some Old Bay tied around his belt, and the yeah, you get it. You understand. That's a mouse pad by Noah, who's player one for Bit Brigade. He has art and stuff, but cool Star Fox mouse pad. There's my food at the end of the day, and that's a wiener. Anyway, can I do that again? There we go. Magfest 2023, people. I didn't get one of those cool snapbacks. That's all right. Maybe next time. And probably won't be going back until we can call off a couple of days because I just can't. I have blackout times right now for my job, so I can't really call off any days in January. But booked it on down there, played some games, broed it up, pizza, shrimp at nearly every meal, sarsaparilla, Danny DeVito. What more do you want? I think that's going to be it, though, guys, because, there's not that much more to talk about, but man, some good art, right? Look at that stuff. That's good. That's cool. Look at all that stuff. All those jet sets. Man, that's some cool stuff. That's some cool stuff. Collaborations. The ladies, you know, John DeLuca, Protoman, Protoman. He's had a long day. Case of the Mondays, whatever it is. So that's MagFest. I think that'll about do, guys. So I'll see you in the next one. Happy New Year. Sure.